You're also watching TVC News at 1. Let's turn attention to business now. The Transmission Company of Nigeria says the organized labor unions in Nigeria have shut down the national grid, resulting in a blackout nationwide. A statement from Transmission Company of Nigeria's General Manager, Public Affairs, Mrs. Ndedimba, confirmed the development, saying the national grid shutdown occurred at about 2:19 a.m., sequel to the indefinite industrial action by the Nigerian labor unions. According to her, the Benin transmission operator under the Independent System Operators Unit of TCN reported that all operators were driven away from the control room. She disclosed that other transmission substations that were shut down by the labor unions include the Gamo, Benin, Ayidi, Olorunshogo, Akungba, and Oshogbo transmission substations. On the power generating side, she said power generating units from different generating stations were first to shut down some units of their generating plant. The Jeba generating station was forced to shut one of its generating units, while 3 others in the same substation subsequently shut down on very high frequency. And now the Central Bank of Nigeria has announced revocation of the license of Heritage Bank PLC with immediate effect. The Apex Bank, in a statement by the Acting Director, Corporate Communications Department, Mrs. Hakama Sidi Ali, said the action was in accordance with the bank's mandate to promote a sound financial system in Nigeria and in the exercise of its powers under Section 12 of the Banks and Other Financial Act. The Director said the action became necessary due to the bank's breach of Section 12, subsection 1 of BOFIA. She added that the board and management of the bank have not been able to improve the bank's financial performance, a situation which constitutes a threat to financial stability. According to her, the CBN took action to strengthen public confidence in the banking system and ensure that the soundness of the financial system is not impaired. Now, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alaki, says the ministry is determined to ensure that the solid minerals sector's contribution to Nigeria's GDP surpasses that of oil. Dr. Dele Alaki made this known in Abuja. He said the administration of President Bola Tinubu is putting in place policies and initiatives aimed at diversifying the economy and ensuring it generates more revenue than oil in the near future. He said Nigeria possesses the critical minerals in commercial quantities across the state needed for energy transition, which the ministry was aggressively marketing to attract big players to reinvest in the sector. According to him, negotiations are ongoing with an auditing firm to audit the sector aimed at sanitizing it to ensure that the appropriate accruals to boost the country's GDP. Elsewhere, the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Mr. Bosun Tijani, has emphasized the need to deploy technology in the agri sector to drive productivity. The minister made this known on the sideline of the Agri Conference in Lagos. According to the minister, the ministry has developed several technology solutions since assuming office.
Upon appointment, we started 2 programs in the first 3 months. One was actually a demonstration project for technology in agriculture, where we funded 10 fourth industrial revolution-based startups to demonstrate their solutions on large farms across the country, 10 of them. I think some of those startups are here today. There's someone that is using drones to help farmers farm better, whether it's to apply herbicides or to do fertilization or to do mapping of their farm. So that's one of the companies that we're working at. I'm a farmer as well myself, and that company is actually helping me on my own farm as well. There are people using artificial intelligence for optimization, right? There are people using things like sensor to also support how farmers can better manage the quality of their soil and in essence quality of the plants that is coming out of it as well. But that's just the beginning. Some of the things we would like to see is specific focus on accelerating the use of technology, particularly on large farms.
Outside Nigeria now, Asian share market rallied today as investors looked forward to an interest rate cut in Europe and possibly Canada as the next step in global policy easing, though sticky inflation threatens to make the process a drawn-out affair. MSCI's Revokes Index of Asia Pacific shares outside Japan rallied 1.4%, having slid 2.5% last week. Chinese blue chips added 0.3%. Japan's Nikkei rose 1.1% after rebounding from one-month lows on Friday, while South Korea gained 1.8%. Meanwhile, Eurostoxx 50 futures climbed 1% and FTSE futures up 0.8%. According to a new report by S&P Global Market Intelligence, Vietnamese manufacturing sector surged in May 2024 and sustained growth, prompting a faster expansion of production. The S&P Global says Vietnamese manufacturing purchasing managers index remains unchanged at 50.3 in May, showing a second consecutive margin of monthly improvement in business conditions in the sector. According to the report, new orders increased solidly in May as a strengthening demand environment helped firms secure new customers and bring in new business. The Global Market Intelligence Economics Director Andrew Hacker said cost inflation in May in Vietnam is the fastest in 2 years, feeding through to higher output. And in the crude oil space now, prices showed mixed trade as OPEC and its partners in OPEC Plus decide to extend their production cut, including both voluntary and group cut, until 2025. U.S. West Texas Intermediate rose to sell at $77.21 per barrel with an uptick of 0.29%. And Brent crude futures also experienced an uptick of 0.31%, selling at $81.36 per barrel. And Bonilla recorded a downward price margin of 1.3%, selling at $80.95 per barrel. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dollars offer $83.08 per barrel with a price or downward price reveal of 1.1%. Well, that does it for business. Coming up next is sport. Please stay with us.